Aloha mai kako. Welcome to episode 51, the Aloha Hour right here. Before we get started, please do us a favor. Like, share, subscribe. Check us out on Instagram at @the_Aloha_hour. Share our content, spread the word, spread the Aloha, and spread Aloha, not germs, okay? Thank you so much for doing that for us and
Today, he is an Emmy Award-winning TV personality and radio personality based in Hawaii. He started his career as a radio DJ in Honolulu. He was a part of the Nahoko Hanohano Award-nominated comedy trio, The Local Boys.
Somebody did homework.
He has done countless TV commercials and TV shows. He played himself on Baywatch Hawaii. He was also the winner of the Great Food Truck Race on the Food Network Season 4. He's been on Anthony Bourdain, Man vs. Food, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and even Hawaii Five-0. He is a chef, a comedian, a podcaster, actor, producer, entrepreneur. He is Lanai Tabura.
Man, what an introduction.
Let's go.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I mean, you're so versatile.
That was a lot of homework. You did
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Honestly, when I started to read about you, I'm like, not, and this, and that, and that. Wait. So
You know what? I got to tell you, we just met, and you're freaking awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I'm always at the gallery.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money there drinking liquor. Yeah, thanks to Lisa and Jeremy.
Oh,
you know Lisa and Jeremy,
Of course,
'cause they
of course.
well, Lisa works there,
Yeah.
and they invite us all the time, so we're probably there once or twice a week.
That's
and
epic.
what
Thank
what you did there was incredible. I'm
Thank you.
sad that are you moving? Are you leaving? What's going on?
All of the above.
Oh, but you're gonna still keep the concept.
Still keep the
Yeah.
concept. We're working on our new store, 3,500 square foot on Kuhio, but permitting process is a bitch
Yeah,
over here.
of course.
So that'll take another.
I know some people.
Everybody knows some people. Then you find them in jail.
That's how you got to get them before they go, you know?
on the way out.
Yeah.
When they're on their way out, you get them.
How much envelopes you get?
No need envelope. Just call in favors. No, but that's a great concept, and it gives
Thank
all
you.
the. Because Waikiki was so heavy with live music. Like every hotel had concerts and clubs and everything, and then it kind of went older.
Yeah.
You don't have the younger artists doing, and you're giving the younger artists a chance to play.
Yeah, I think that was my my main objective, to create a space that is everything that Waikiki is not.
Yeah.
Young, hip, local, and promotes local art.
And the art is amazing too.
Thank you.
Some of
Thank
those
you.
guys. I'm trying to hire one of those guys. What's his name? You sent me his info. I didn't call him yet.
Louis Rossignol.
Louis, you're a badass.
Yeah.
You know that guy?
No.
He's super dope. He does all those famous people. He also did Max.
He did Max.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
he did
picture we
Max.
gave
Oh,
to
okay.
Max.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
he's fire.
finished my book, and I want to see if he would do my cover. I don't know if I can afford them, but it's worth asking, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I can give him some tequila in exchange. Or something.
Just cook him a meal, bro.
Okay,
Because I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
your meals are top shape. You know what I mean?
But you know what? When I did my research, and we were talking about it all the time, how did you get from a radio personality into being I can see how you got into being a comedian, but how did you get to be a chef? How did you get to cook?
You know what? I'm not a chef, actually. So I always tell people call me chef on the street. I'm not a chef. I have a cooking show. I can cook, but I never went to school. I always believe that if you went to school and you graduated, you should get the honor of being called a chef. Because I gave somebody stitches one time and they didn't call me doctor. And I didn't get to make the money that the doc would have made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always give credit to the guys who are real chefs. And I'm more of I'm like a local boy cook. You know what I mean? Like we barbecue, we cook in one pot for the whole family. I mean, my girlfriend loves my cooking, so I guess I can cook. And my kids love my cooking. But I really I never wanted to call myself a chef, and it all happened on the marketing side of I'm a big marketeer guy. I was getting involved in helping different restaurants and stuff like that, and then my agent called me one day, and she goes, "There's this guy I want you to take him around town," and I said, yeah, who is it? You know, and she goes, he has a TV show on the Travel Channel, and he wants to learn the history of like the immigration to Hawaii and why did all this food, where did it come from? I'm a huge fan of history and food. Like I've been kind of undercover. Even through my radio career, I was always reading, always watching documentaries about food, always learning from the kupuna, ask a million questions, and turned out to be Anthony Bourdain.
Nice.
And, yeah, so I took him around Hawaii, and it was the first time he came to Hawaii for no reservations. So there's 2 times he came. Second time he did Molokai and Maui. First time he did Oahu. So I got to hang with him for 3-4 days and took him around Oahu, cooked for him at my house, and just shared with him about what local food was and what Hawaiian food was, because everyone gets it confused. You know, people on the mainland think Hawaiian food is L&L, Hawaiian barbecue.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm trying to educate people on what Hawaiian food is and what local food or Hawaiian style food is. And we were sitting down and he was like, you need to share this with people. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, like, share the history and the culture behind this food, because people think a loco moco is Hawaiian, or people think, you know, spam musubi is Hawaiian. It's not. It's Hawaiian style, you know. So that's where it started, and then we became friends, and then he got me the Great Food Truck Race, and I started getting producers call me, even if I wasn't on the show, can you consult the project? Yeah, so I started doing all these things for CNN. This guy, Richard Quest, who's a big food guy on CNN right now, took me around, and I got to educate him about food. And then CNN sent me to the Philippines for a month with a camera crew and two of America's top Filipino chefs. Shout out to Tom Cunan. And he won a James Beard Award. He was like the first Filipino to win a James Beard Award. So we went out with him and a couple other guys, and we just toured Philippines and learning all the different types of food. But I bring that up because it's interesting to see the Filipino food in Hawaii is much different from everywhere else, you know. And there's so much history behind it. So I started doing that, and then next thing you know, I'm working for Netflix. I do have a special right now. Well, it came out a little while ago called Street Food USA. So I help produce and host Street Food Hawaii, which is episode 5, I believe. And then you do one, you start doing more. And then other producers start calling you, and then you're like, hey, how did you hear about me? And then they'll say, oh, Bourdain's team or the Netflix team. And it just starts building. And then, so yeah, been doing that a lot lately, and a lot of pop-up dinners. So I've been doing pop-up dinners all over the world, which is kind of cool because I get to tell that story of the immigration to Hawaii.
You know, just to share with you, you know, you mentioned before the artist Louis Rossignol, right?
Yeah.
His Anthony Bourdain picture we have
Yes.
is one of the best-selling
I bet.
pictures. Anthony Bourdain created such an insane market and such an insane following that people till this day, when they see his art like hanging of him, they're like, oh my God, I have to have it.
Yeah.
This is the best-selling picture of Louis Rossignol art that we have
I
of the
believe it.
9.
Yeah.
Man, it's selling like hotcakes.
I believe it.
It's crazy.
Anthony was he did what people weren't doing, I should say. I remember going to an audition one time. This is in Hollywood, and I was pitching my cooking show, and we shot like 3 seasons. And the guy walks in. He goes, "Whoever the host is." There was like 4 people, and then the head guy walked in. He was standing at the door. He didn't watch the whole thing. He just watched the ending of it. And he didn't know that I was sitting there, I guess. Or maybe he did. And he said, what a great concept. You guys are featuring Hawaii because everyone loves Hawaii. But the host doesn't really have much of a personality. I was pissed. I was pissed. But that's
Fucking
Hollywood,
like
right?
scrap.
Yeah, man. I was pissed. But it put a flame under my ass, and it was like, screw this guy. Yeah. So anyways, here we are, season 18, and it's airing all over the world. But it's just one of those things where he was saying he didn't have much of a personality, and the first person I thought of was Bourdain. And I'm not comparing myself to him at all, but he wasn't, outspoken. He wasn't, I take it back. He was outspoken in a classy way.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like flashy. He wasn't energy. He
wasn't loud.
He wasn't those Food Network kind hosts, at all. He was just, he got to the point and he was sharing culture and history, right? Mm-hmm. So he really inspired me to do what I do. He's one of my idols for sure. A lot of people, but
Yeah.
you know, like you say, #1 selling piece of art. Everyone loves that guy.
Everybody loves this
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
and he has a crazy life.
Yeah.
I mean, his documentary about him is sensational. I think it's on
Yeah.
Netflix, right?
No, it's on, or maybe they just put it on Netflix. But I remember starting on Amazon, and you have to pay
Amazon
for
maybe.
it. Yeah.
yeah. But it's really good, and it's
Yeah.
worth it. And before, actually, towards the end of his life, he started to do jujitsu.
Yeah, he was doing big time.
It's crazy.
Every day.
It's every day.
Yeah.
And he competed.
Yeah.
I mean, a guy with the age of 50
Yeah.
starts to do jujitsu and then signs up for a competition.
He was with the Gracies, wasn't he?
I don't know, but he trains all over
Yeah.
because everybody wanted to be with him. But this is so sensational. So
Yeah.
even when he did a food show in one of the cities, he looked up
Yeah,
a
he
good
went to
jiu-jitsu gym
yeah.
and went to train over there.
There was an episode he wore BJ Penn's the Roots. Remember that line Roots? He wore a BJ Penn shirt, and that's when I knew he was into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, man.
But
This is epic.
such a super guy, such a
Yeah.
nice guy. What a loss, boy.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to know him. I'm super stoked.
What do you think about Michael Zimmerman? He also has a food show.
He was another pioneer.
Yeah.
But he had the good energy, and the guy, he was like that white kid in school that, hey, eat this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He would eat dirt, worms and stuff. He
Yeah.
was that guy. He's a super nice guy. I got to meet him a couple of times. But I think he was getting some health issues.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like he stopped doing it. And
I stopped watching his shows when he was in Africa and he tried foreskin.
Oh,
is when-
yeah,
This
yeah.
is when I said, okay, nah, I can't.
there's a new Anthony Zimmerman now, the guy that wears the bandana on YouTube. You guys know that guy? I just forgot his name. But he's got millions of followers. He's doing exactly what Zimmerman's doing, but more hip. So his show is more moving. You gotta
Yeah.
watch YouTube, yeah. I can't believe I forgot his name.
But
Put
I
it in
get-
the comments.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah,
I gotta watch
He's
it.
the new Zimmerman, and Zimmerman kind of handed him the torch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you also got to be with the guy from Drive-ins and Dives. What's his name?
Guy Ferrer. Yeah,
Guy.
Yeah.
He's such a character, man.
Yeah.
Such a character. I love this guy.
I'm not a big fan.
No?
But I like what he's doing. We created a pilot, same idea. It was called Hole in the Walls. But
That's good.
you know, it came. We around the same time he came out with that show, we were trying to put it together. And what happened was, you guys remember that guy Min? He was the first Asian guy on the Food Network.
Yeah.
What's his first name? I'm having a loss for names today. I was never good with names, but something Min. He was on the Food Network. He complained because he was getting paid crap, and all these other guys were getting paid $100,000 an episode and whatever. So he left and he went to PBS. So when we did those Food Network shows, I was asking some of the producers. I said, "How come there's no Asians hosting? You know, how come you look at all the hosts for Food Network? There's not even no blacks anymore. You know what I mean? There used to be that one couple. They're gone, but it was just whites. And they said they're only catering to Middle America. So you weren't gonna find any Asians on there. Yeah. So if you watch Food Channel, which is not the Food Network, Food Channel has all the different colors. They're all
That's crazy. I never thought about that.
And Food Channel's bigger than Food Network.
I never thought about that,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, go watch like Asia, all the Asian shows. All the big Asian chefs are on there. I've been lucky, man. I got to meet the Anthony Bourdain of Korea because they all come to Hawaii to film, right? So I would bring him. I hung out with him for like 4 days, brought him around. I didn't know how big he was. I can't even pronounce his name. And I go to Korea and people stop me on the street going, "You're the Hawaii guy. You're the Hawaii guy."
Wow, that's epic.
Yeah, this guy's huge in Korea. Can't even pronounce his name.
That's dope, though. You know why I like Guy? I like Guy because he went to the places I would never, ever step foot in.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
I would never step foot
I do
in.
a food tour here while I'm home, and I take you to these hole in the walls. You guys should come on my food tour. It's been getting raving reviews. I just got written up in Travel Magazine this weekend.
That's
Really?
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I trust the restaurant more when I see their little advertisement on it that they've been there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is gonna taste
I
good.
go when I travel for food. I go to places that you wouldn't expect
Yeah.
to go to, because you find gems.
Yeah, it's
You
a
find
gamble though, no?
gems. Nah, it's not a gamble. If you see locals in it, it's good.
True.
Because, you know, people go, oh, you use TripAdvisor when you go to eat. I go, no, why would I use TripAdvisor? Those are tourists telling you where to eat when they went on a tour to that country.
Word.
You know what I mean? You got to find where the locals eat. That's the trick. I take you to Japan, man. I take you to some spots
Yeah.
when there's no tourists.
I saw you in Japan and going to some crazy spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw on your Instagram.
I love
Man,
it.
I so wanted to be with you.
Let's go.
Dude.
I do Japan 8 times a year. Food tours to
Not.
Tokyo. Yeah,
Bruh, sign me up.
I'll be there
baby.
next
Yes.
month. We should do one with the podcast.
I actually going to be there next month. I'm going to be there March 12th till March
Oh.
23rd.
I'll be there on the 25th.
On the 23rd,
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
coming
just
back.
we'll just miss each other. But you got to come on one of my tours.
But you know, it's crazy to see how Hawaii changed as far as the gastronomy industry, the food and beverage industry,
Yeah.
changed completely from when I moved to Hawaii in 2007 and to
Yeah.
what it is today.
Yeah.
It's two different things. Because I remember when I opened my first Hawaiian Aroma Cafe, I hired Chef Donato Luperfido,
I know Chef Donato.
and he used to make my sandwiches.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's doing good now. He's in Kakako.
Yeah. He's doing amazing right now. He used to also have. He's the owner of Pasta Basta. He used to
Yes.
have
Yeah.
Flavors of Italy,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. But back in the day, I was the only person that hired the chef to do sandwiches.
That's awesome.
After that, I had Bruno Forno
Yep.
from
Yeah.
Mix Cafe in downtown,
Mm-hmm.
and he did squid ink ciabatta bread with bourgeon cheese and. Bruh, nobody got it.
Yeah.
Nobody got it. Nobody
Yeah.
came to eat.
Yeah.
Everybody had my coffee, my iced coffee, but nobody really was willing to pay
Yeah.
$10, $20 on a sandwich.
They didn't get it yet.
They didn't get it. They're like, oh, I can get a lunch plate,
Yeah.
you know, for $10, $12. Why would I get a,
Right.
you know? So now you tell someone, oh, I have a squid ink ciabatta with bourgeon cheese and salmon and this. They're like,
What?
you have capers in there? Let me get it. Like,
Yeah.
people understand today
Yeah.
more than what they did like 10 years ago
The
when
internet.
they started.
Yeah.
The internet.
Yeah, and the
but
Food Network too.
Food Network.
Yeah.
But also people like Elevate.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Food Network really was around. People don't realize they were around for a long time.
Yeah.
But it didn't take off till like 10 years ago. It really didn't take off till really 10 years ago. Look at Tyler Florence. He's been on the Food Network from day one. And he didn't really take off till 10 years ago. It took a while.
I was a big fan of the Iron Chef.
Iron Chef, yeah.
Man, Morimoto,
Uh-huh.
when he opened his first restaurant in modern Honolulu.
Yeah.
Bruh.
It was good.
And I actually saw him. Bruh,
Standing in the kitchen like this.
Yes, bruh.
Only time he moved is you buy a cookbook and then he'll see the cookbook.
I was so impressed.
Yeah.
He wasn't really a food warrior.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
I was impressed.
Yeah, and we got a bunch of Iron Chefs too here now.
Yeah.
Roy and who else we got? We got a couple of them.
In general, I mean, people are just elevating every year. And also, you know what also elevated? The first Hawaiian Bank Food and Wine.
Oh yeah, Food and Wine Festival. That really elevated. But you know, Hawaii has so many great culinary talent. I mean, there's a bunch of young guys right now.
Yes.
Ricky Goings, he's at the Lay Stand. He does his secret pop-up dinners. I just did a pop-up dinner with him. That guy is so talented. He got nominated for a James Beard Award. Nobody even knows. I mean, you look at Fett, they just got a James Beard Award. You got
Yeah.
Senia just got a James Beard Award.
Yeah.
Look at all the nominees. Sheldon Simeon, I mean, Bravo's top chef. Leanne Wong. I mean, there's so many names from Hawaii. And then when they do
You
these
give me
shows,
goosebumps, bro. You give me goosebumps. I love it. I love it.
And they do these shows and people fall in love with them because they're from Hawaii. Everybody wants something from Hawaii.
Yes.
You know? We have so much talent here.
Now there's a
Go on and
guy.
on.
His name is his last name is Abitbull. He goes mushroom foraging.
Oh
in the-
yeah. He was
Yuda Abitbull. Yuda Abitbull.
Yes, you follow him on Instagram. I'm
Yeah.
trying to do a pop-up dinner with him.
Dude.
He'll
please
go
invite
in
me.
the mountain
Yes.
all day.
Yes.
He'll find opai, ferns, whatever he can find, and then he makes a whole meal out of it.
Dude.
Oh, okay.
social media.
I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen this guy before.
He's badass.
And he knows like 200 different kinds of mushrooms.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
He knows everything.
Yeah.
He's a forger. This guy's talented.
Talented.
Yeah.
He used to actually work, him and his brother used to work for Herringbone,
Yes.
a Hakkasan restaurant that we had in International Marketplace.
Yeah.
The original one.
Yeah.
His dad, his name is Maurice. Also Jewish guy, and he's painting on Kalakaua. He's doing portraits on Kalakaua.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So that's how I got to meet him. And bruh, this guy is talented.
Yeah.
Like,
you got to get him on your show. I haven't met him physically yet. We've we've messaged each other, but we haven't met physically yet.
no, we got to do something for him. I think he just did the dinner for Carissa Moore's sister.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was,
Yeah.
bruh, the stuff that he puts out there. I love when people have the passion and love for food.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
just,
And it's going back to the basics again, which is cool to me. You
Yeah.
know, like I don't like, not to offend anybody, but I don't like French food too much because there's too much sauces and stuff.
yeah,
You know
too
what I
much
mean?
butter.
Like I'll go to Italy and I love Italian food in Italy
Yeah.
because it's different.
Yeah.
You're eating from the garden. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just like Hawaiian food, you're eating from the earth. You know, but when you put too much stuff on it, you can still elevate your game without putting too much stuff on it.
I totally agree.
You know, I love it. That's what I like.
I totally. So
And
what is actually Hawaiian cuisine? Like the true Hawaiian cuisine?
So it's very basic. You got taro, of course.
Yeah.
Kalo is one of the gifts from the gods, we believe. Our
Yeah.
first gift. You know, once upon a time there was over 1,000 different styles of kalo. Now we got a little over 80, and you gotta imagine everybody was pounding taro at one point, right? I mean, everybody. That's what you ate. And then, of course, we had our fish pond. So if you look at the ahupua'a, from the beginning of the waterfall down to the ocean, the fish pond was at the bottom, and you had all the reef fish that was there. You had kalo, you had some fruit, some vegetables, and that's pretty much it. You know?
Ulu.
Ulu is a big part of, obviously, taro and ulu were our two
Yeah.
starches. We had uala too, sweet potato. But that's
I've-
Hawaiian food.
Do you know if pig was in the early part of Hawaiian, or did it get introduced later down
It got
the line?
introduced,
Oh,
and then, but it was, like you look at beef, right? We never ate pipi kaula till the Spanish and the Portuguese came. Spanish and Portuguese interest to cattle. We didn't really start eating it till the 1800s. There was no refrigeration. So if you look at pipi kaula, pipi is cow, kaula is rope. The paniolo used to put it on their saddles and dry it. And they would go in the mountains for 2 or 3 days when they were doing their cattle. And one of the things that's cool is that one of this old paniolo cowboys told me we used to take the pipi kaula in the mountains, and then where the water ran, there would be watercress everywhere. And that's how like the watercress salt beef came about.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
you had in the ahupua'a down the rivers, you had all this different size opai, Hawaiian shrimp, and that's what we eat in the ho'io salad. You know, so it's kind of cool to over time all these things started happening in the ahupua'a, but Hawaiian food was very simple and very basic. That's why we had no disease. We had no issues with. Oh, we got everything now: blood pressure, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, everything now. But it very simple, you know. Taro, fish. That was it. That's Hawaiian food.
That's
you know?
amazing because people, you know, they were big, they were strong,
Yeah,
and
look
there
at
was
Kamehameha.
yeah,
Yeah,
Just-
no fat on his body. You know, everybody was tall. Everybody was healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, not till the Chinese came. 1790s, late 1700s, the Chinese bring us noodles and rice, and that's what the down.
this is
That's when everything started going downhill.
Our downfall. That's what it was, bro.
Right, and that's where it all started going downhill. And then the Japanese come in early 1800s. They bring their version of rice too, and the taro patches were easy. A place to grow rice.
Yeah.
Right? Because taro was getting less. There was less Hawaiians. But I think by 1900 there was only about 150,000 Hawaiians left. And you had 400,000 immigrants working on the sugar plantation. So whatever they brought over, we started eating, right?
Yeah.
All this different immigration to Hawaii. So yeah, we can thank the Chinese for the rice and noodles.
When I got here to Hawaii, and then someone wanted to take me to like a lunch plate.
Yeah.
And you have to have a Hawaiian lunch plate. I'm like, Hawaiian lunch plate? Macaroni salad. I'm
Plate
like,
lunch.
macaroni
Yeah.
salad?
Plate lunch.
Yeah, plate lunch. I mean, what are you talking about? Macaroni salad. Macaroni salad is not...
That was from the war. That was introduced to us during the wartime, World War II. Some people say from the war, some say from the missionaries, but you talk to the Kopuna, more people will tell you it's from the war. They brought over that elbow macaroni. And then, of course, mayo was introduced, and that was it.
Yeah.
The Solis took over the mayo. Mayo on the hot rice, mayo on the lau lau. They put mayo on everything. But yeah, there was another downfall. Mayo.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and then we got 2 starches on a plate, right? Two scoop rice. Gotta have mac salad.
And probably no vegetables.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the plate lunch really started when the plantations started getting bigger. Because when you worked on a plantation, they gave you a cacao tin. Cacao tin was a 3-decker lunch pail. It was made out of tin, right? And I picked pineapple for 4 years. My grandparents did it. My great-grandparents did it. My parents did it. And they all tell me the same story. You get this cacao tin. You make your lunch. You sit in a circle under the truck, right? Because there was no shade in a pineapple field or a sugarcane field. And you would lay down newspaper, and you would put your rice in one hand, chopsticks in the other, and your hot food would go in the middle, and your vegetable would go in the middle, the 2 other decks, right? The Japanese guy brought teriyaki, the Hawaiian brought taro and some opelu, and the Chinese guy brought some noodles, and the Korean guy brought kimchi, and the Hawaiians taught everyone how to share. So you had rice, and then you had this buffet of all these different ethnicities in the middle of your circle. That's how the plate lunch started. We started getting introduced to all these different things, and we took the best from each ethnicity, right? Look at Filipino. We took the adobo and the pancit and the lumpia. Those are like the top 3.
Yeah.
The Koreans, we took the kimchi. The Japanese, we took the rice and the katsus, all the different katsus. The Chinese, we took all the noodles and the dim sums. That's really how it changed and how it started. It's because of the plantation days.
That's crazy. In Hawaii, there's really such a beautiful variety of representation of all the Asians that live here. And I think that's amazing because everyone feels at home.
Yeah.
The Japanese feel at home.
Yeah.
The Chinese can feel at home. The Filipino definitely feel at home.
Yeah.
Everybody feels their connection here, and that's, I think, beautiful. And I'm not sure that there's anywhere in the world that there's another place like Hawaii.
No, nowhere. To me, I mean, I've been all over the world. You don't get this kind of vibe. Well, when people come here, they go, "What is this energy that I feel?"
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is this called the Aloha Hour? Right. It's that love that you feel. It's one of my mentors always told me when he explained what Aloha is. Right. He always says, why do humans always put on white gloves when they touch a Rolex watch? Or when they're looking at a diamond, we put white gloves on, right? And we treat it so special. Put it on a thing with that you can't touch, but we can't treat each other with white gloves. You know what I mean? I think when you come to Hawaii, we treat our guests with white gloves.
Yeah.
What do we do when our friends come? We take them go eat.
Yeah.
We take them to the beach.
Yeah.
We really, if you go to your friend's house in Idaho, he ain't taking you to go eat. He ain't taking you to the beach. You know what I mean? It's a much different vibe when you come here, and that's why people fall in love with Hawaii. It's Aloha.
Where the first 3 years, when I told people I live in Hawaii, everybody wanted to come visit. People that I never talked to since 4th grade. Like, oh, you live in Hawaii?
It's exhausting. It's exhausting. Man, you got people visiting you all the time.
Yeah.
When you live in...
but if you're smart, you get the route. And then you have tour number 1.
No, you know what I did?
For the okay guys. You have tour number 2. You go all out.
Not your good friends.
And then you get the VIP tour. You do
for
everything for the family.
Yeah.
You do everything.
You know what I do? When I have too many guests in town, just meet me at this bar, and then we all have dinner or we all have lunch because you can't entertain everybody, and then you're paying for it too, right?
Yeah. So you gotta make sure you keep your bill nice and small.
It gets difficult, man. I tell you, you live. I'm lucky. I'm not home half the month, so I don't have to entertain too much anymore.
So where you live half of the month?
2 weeks every month. I do food tours to Tokyo, Osaka, Seoul. China. I do Portugal 2 times a year, and I do Europe every other. And I just added Thailand. So 2 weeks I'm home. I do food tours here, private. I work with the Ritz-Carlton, the Aulani, and the Four Seasons, and then also with Airbnb. And then 2 weeks I'm gone. I'm taking people on food tours.
Wow.
So used to be I go on a tour and then come back and then go again. Now I just have my business partner send the next group, so I don't. It's hard. You get jet lag, traveling so much. So I do about 12 tours a year, maybe 12 to 14. Yeah.
Wow, that's epic.
Yeah, you guys are all welcome to come. We should do one for your podcast.
Yeah, bruh.
Seriously,
I'll be down.
we can do one just for the podcast.
I think me and Steezy were good at food, huh?
Of course, you guys would love. Have you guys been to Japan? You've been to Japan.
Yeah.
Have you been
Yes.
to Japan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love Japan. Would move there if I could.
Yeah, I'm planning on buying a home there. I've been looking the last year. I've been looking
But
at so much available.
I mean, they'll let you though?
No,
Yeah,
I have friends and family who live there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna partner with them.
But I heard
yeah.
if you buy, I just saw it on Instagram. If you buy this vacant homes,
Yeah.
and you renovate,
Yeah.
you get you're allowed to buy it if you're going to invest.
You
in
still
it.
need somebody there.
Oh,
you
you
still
still-
need somebody who lives there. Yeah. And the problem with a lot of those ones, because I follow that Instagram, you gotta pay the back tax.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
and some of them are a lot because a lot of those the older generation in Japan doesn't have kids, or they don't want to take over the home because they moved away, or some of them want to retire. You got to remember, half an hour out of Tokyo, there's no hospital, and as you get older, you need to live closer to the hospital. You have all these different things that are happening, but there's so much for sale right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the yen is weak, so
Yeah.
the dollar is strong. By the way, before we go any further, thanks for the lei. I didn't mean to be rude, but I just wanted to put it here.
Oh,
All right. I always get weirded out when people give you a lei and then they take it off.
yeah.
So I'm just
Well, when we gave Lanai the lei, he gave us.
car fresheners.
I don't know if he says that we stink. Or
That's for traffic. 'Cause traffic stinks, so you got to hang that in your car.
There you go.
Yeah.
So how does a guy that you were born on Lanai?
Yeah, born and raised on Lanai.
So how did you make the move? How does a guy from Lanai gets to be on the radio in Honolulu?
That's a great story. Sean Till Don Sweeney, a very famous DJ, and Jeff Keno was another old school DJ. Sean, my sophomore year, everyone listened to at night, and I called him. Back in the day, there was no social media. Radio was social media. Everyone listened to the radio here, especially in Hawaii. I called him randomly and said, "Hey, we're looking for a MC for our prom," and he's like, "Lanai, I've always wanted to go there. I'm coming. You don't even have to pay me. Just take care of my air in my hotel." So I got him to Lanai. He emceed our prom. Me, him, my mom, we hit it off. We became like best friends instantly. And my junior year, he would always send shout out to us on the radio. Said, "Hey, you want to come do the junior prom?" Done. Came to the junior prom, so we became good friends. My senior year, I got a volleyball scholarship to Hawaii Pacific University. They were going to start a AA team that year. I was all state volleyball, and I got a couple scholarships. I said, I'm just going to come to Honolulu. So I come to Honolulu, and obviously he lives here. I don't know anybody. I know a couple people, maybe family, and I used to hang out with him on the air, and I used to answer his phone calls. Now, back in the day, everyone listened to the radio at night. There was 7 or 8 phone lines would non-stop ring. Non-stop. Everyone wanted to make a dedication, want to hear a song. That's when radio was huge. Yeah. So I would sit there and help him take phone calls. Christmas comes around, and he goes, his boss, Jeff Keno, he goes, "Hey, you want to do a fill-in shift? Just play music," because everyone was on vacation, right? So I said, "Yeah, hell yeah." Now I got a job. 17 years old. I'm playing records, right? There was no CDs yet.
Wow.
I'm playing a Casey Kasem show on Sunday, and I'm playing another type of show on Saturday night. Everyone's on vacation. It's Christmas time. Monday rolls around. The guy who's supposed to come back at night gets snowed in Minnesota or something. I can't even remember who the DJ was at the time. So my boss calls me, goes, "Hey, you need to play music." Monday, this next week, can you come in 7 to midnight? I said, yeah, hell yeah. This is like the dream job. You know what I mean? Every girl's calling you, and at back in the day, you had to do this thing called a legal ID. You had to do it live, which is your call letters for the radio station at the top of the hour. So he said, you got to do this thing at top of the hour. You're going to turn on the mic and you say, KIKI, Honolulu, Hot I-94, blah, 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 whatever it was. And then you play the next song. And then, so I did it. And it was that week I did it. And then he goes, can you do the weekend? Because another guy didn't come in. It was New Year's now. And they were taking off. Everybody was taking off.
Yeah.
Right? So can you do the weekend? I said, yeah. So the cruiser, Alan Oda, who is part of the Three Local Boys, that was that comedy trio we did, he's working 7 to midnight, and they have me do 12 to 5 because there's no computers yet. It's all, you're playing records in carts. So he goes, hey, you might as well do a couple breaks and record it. Then you can turn in your resume and try to get a gig. So 3 o'clock in the morning, I start going on the air, and I start recording it. And the phones are lit up because everyone who works overnight is listening. My thing was, when they would call, I would record them, and I would just dog them. Just dog them. Whoever I could dog, I would dog on the air, and you wouldn't get canceled at this time. So I started recording all these bits. For 1 week I was on, 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning, I would crack the mic, and I wasn't supposed to. So I created a tape. All the bosses come back. It's mid-January. I go, here's my tape. They go, where'd you make this? I said, I made it in the production room. I want to apply for an on-air job. Ooh. So I get an on-air job for the weekend. They loved it. They liked what I did. I worked overnights for maybe 4 or 5 months. The cruiser Alan Oda and a guy by the name of Jimmy the Geek start working. Jimmy the Geek starts working at the station as well next door because we had 4 stations. We become friends. Alan invites us to his show, 7 to midnight. We had these big intros before we did a song, and we created this thing called Yo I-94 Raps. That was a duplicate to Yo MTV Raps, which just got big. It just started getting big. And what we did was we created these parody raps about stupid stuff, and we would rap over the intro and introduce the song during a countdown called the Hot 8 at 8. It blew up. A record label heard it, said, hey, we want you guys to do some original songs. We're going to put together an album, and we'll call it the Three Local Boys. So we did a song called Shaka Shaka Baby, and we did another one called Soul Brother, which got a lot of backlash because it was about a black guy who went to the club. And we called him the Soul Brother, how we picked up chicks and everything. And it blew up. What is his name? This big DJ, Rick Dees. You guys remember Rick Dees? He's old school. He started playing our songs on the radio. And then we did a song called Me So Hungry. That got played everywhere, San Francisco, everywhere. And then the big song was called Rice Rice Baby. It was so big, Weird Al Yankovic copied it 1 year later and did his own version. And everyone thought that was him, but it was ours. And that was it. We were like the kings of radio because we started doing concerts. We opened for Tone Loc. We opened for New Generation. We went on tour with them. We opened for Young MC. We opened for Cypress Hill, of all people.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was cool because they didn't announce that we were going to be there. They announced that we were the MCs. So when we went out to MC, the DJ would start playing our tracks, and then we would just start rapping, and the whole place would just rock. They had these, you were too young, but they had these shows at Aloha Tower. You remember that? You know where the boats come in? Where the ships come in, and it's all this empty space? Mm-hmm. They would put up concert venue, like it would hold like 3,000 people, but it would be all ages dances. And we would open for Cypress Hill, Big T's, Urban Joint. Yeah. They were killing at the time.
Oh my gosh.
And we were just a part of this whole hip hop era, and we were making fun of hip hop basically. And because we had no rhythm, I mean, we were just making up all these songs, and they just became hits. And we sold, I don't know, like 500,000 cassettes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, cassettes. You guys know what a cassette is?
It's crazy.
That's news to me. The very beginning, like you were an entrepreneur from even in high school. I mean, to even just call up a radio station and ask them, like, that's some big olos. You know what I mean? You're what, a freshman, sophomore, like.
Were they gonna say no?
Yeah, but a lot of kids don't even think like that. You know, they just be like, nah.
Oh no,
I could never reach them. You know,
I was hustling in high school already. Yeah. I was poor. That's why I grew up super poor.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I was always trying to make the next dollar. I was selling cabbage in high school. My grandfather had a garden, 1 acre garden, and he'd go, "You come help me." I'd be like, "Fuck, I don't want to work out in the sun and learn how to make cabbage." But then I realized what he was doing. He was teaching me how to make cabbage. Right? See the scenario there. So after the third day, I go, "What are you gonna do with all this cabbage?" He goes, "Come with me," and I loaded it up in a bunch of rice bags. Took me to the store, and he goes, "Go inside and see if they buy it." So I went in the store and I sold like 5 bags of cabbage because I needed money to go to the prom, and he wasn't gonna give it to me. He wanted me to work for it. So I come out and I had like $200, and I go,
Wow.
"Grandpa, look at this! Look at all this money." I was like a sophomore. Look at all this money we got, and $200 in high school at sophomore. That's a lot of money. So and he's like, "You go pay for your prom now." I was like, "Oh." That was my first lesson. And then I told my mom I want to pick pineapple because I felt that money, right? So I was 14. I picked pineapple and was selling cabbage at the same time. I was hustling. I had 3 jobs, and then I had a job being a dispatcher at the police station. That's my first radio job.
You're the first cabbage dealer I met.
Cabbage dealer, making cabbage.
It's crazy how one thing leads to another. You don't know where from the moment you start, you don't know where you're going to end up.
Yeah. So I tell people you got to take a chance, man.
You got to take a chance.
You never know what the
one phone call to this
be.
guy changed everything in your life. Everything. That's crazy.
Rapping, hip hop, radio, it's all comes into play.
Yeah.
It's one thing after another. I always look at opportunity as bigger than the word opportunity. I always look at opportunity as, this is going to be 3 steps. I don't look at the opportunity in front of you.
Yeah.
I always look at 3 steps from now what it's going to be,
Yeah, that opportunity will evolve
to this opportunity. Yeah. And I make a decent living, but I'm not rich or anything. When I was in my 20s, it was always, I'm gonna get the big house, I'm gonna get the nice cars. Now it's, I'm gonna travel here and travel there. I'm gonna use my money to go there or go there. Perspectives change as you get older, right? But yeah, don't give up. Don't overlook opportunities. Everyone that comes to me says, "I want to do this or do that." I go, "Yeah, let's do it." I've failed so many times. You're a businessman. We fail so many times that if you don't at least try it, you don't know if it's going to be successful or not.
I think that's what kind of bothers me of this kind of generation.
Yes.
They're afraid to fail, so they don't try from the get. I'm not going to try because I don't want to fail.
Yeah.
But then they don't, and the ones that do, they blow up.
Yeah. You know what I always said on my tombstone? I'm going to put wasn't afraid to fail. You gotta fail. You ain't gonna learn. You learn that in stand-up comedy. Because if you do a joke and you're not gonna know if it works, so you have to do it.
Yeah.
If it fails, then you go, fuck these guys. I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
I know this is funny.
They don't know, bro.
Yeah, they don't know.
They don't know what's funny.
Yeah. And then you do it again. And then you do it again. And you do it again. And then you start realizing, so that part worked. I'm gonna take out that part.
Yeah.
That's failing, right? Just like with business.
It's like a technician almost. When you do a real good joke,
right? A fighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to kind of know what you're good at, what you're not good at. If you don't try, you don't know if you're not good at it. I think it goes with everything in life. Relationships.
Yeah.
People are afraid to fall in love or do this. Fuck, you got to try it.
You got to try it.
Yeah. That's my excuse when I date. Well, let's try.
Let's see how it works.
See if this works.
Yeah.
Hey, makes sense to me. Makes sense, man.
Right. How many opportunities have you had or businesses have you tried? And it's like, oh shoot, that didn't work. Let's try this or let's go this way. Right?
Countless.
Right?
Countless.
Yeah.
But I think what makes a good businessman is the ability to adapt.
Yeah.
And to admit that was a shitty idea.
Yeah, and that's a good one because you do have to admit that didn't work. And
okay, that didn't work.
So you learn from it.
Yeah. Let me divert. Let me do this. Let me modify that.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna be stubborn, and a lot of times I thought that as a businessman I gotta be stubborn my way. I gotta no.
Yeah.
If the people don't like it, you got to modify. Okay, maybe they like this, maybe they like that. Just like you said, if the guys didn't like the joke, but they did laugh about this portion.
Yeah.
Okay, let me embrace this portion. Let me cut out this shit.
Yeah.
Let me bring something else in. And people that
Polish
don't.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's almost like cooking with the right recipe.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
You have to have the right ingredients. This tastes like shit. Take it out.
Yeah.
Don't use it.
Or you put too much salt.
Yeah. Don't put less.
Yeah, put less. Right.
That's a crazy analogy, but it's so true what you just said. I think if anybody that of our listeners or viewers can actually implement what you said, we already did our good deed for the day, man. 100%.
I have no fear of trying everything once.
Yeah.
I'll try everything once, and I get ridiculed for it, especially from my friends who love me. They'll say, "Dude, just focus on one thing," and I go, "Why? If I can do all of these things, right?
Yeah.
I only do things that I like doing. I only do things that are fun. So if I'm going to do 20 things that are fun, I'm going to do 20 things that are fun." And some people might say, "Oh, you should focus on this. You're not, if you did just this one thing, you'd be really good at it." Of course I would probably. If I probably just did comedy, I'd probably be really good at it. But then you have kids, and then you can't travel. So then you kind of go this direction, right? It goes with everything in life, It's kind of been my philosophy. Try everything. My mom used to say when we were kids, we take forever on the shave ice. Right. Well, what do you guys want to eat? What flavor do you want? My mom would be like, "What flavor do you want?" And we'd be like, "I don't know what flavor I want." She'd go, "Get them a rainbow." After a while, she'd just get everybody a rainbow. We wouldn't have any choice. And then when we got older, I realized what she was doing. She goes, "Which one did you like out of the rainbow?"
Yeah.
"I like the vanilla one." "Okay, now next one, we're going to get the vanilla. You're not going to hold up the line." Yeah, try all of them.
Yeah.
Try all of them. What do you got to lose?
Yeah.
You don't like it, don't eat it. Don't want to do it, don't do it. But you got to try it. You don't never know.
You got to risk it. You got to try it. Yeah.
One thing I haven't done is ride a bull. I might be the best fucking bull rider in the world, but I haven't done it yet. I do want to try it.
Really?
Yeah.
What intrigues you about a monster?
I was in the Philippines one time, and there was a bull. Those mechanical bulls?
Yes.
Inside of a restaurant.
Yeah.
And everyone was doing it, and I was looking at them, and I was going, "These guys can't even stay on for 5 seconds," right? I'm with my friend Raymond No, who owns No Foods,
Hey.
and he's the #1 Korean polo player in the world, and he's ride bulls. And I go, "Raymond, what's the trick to that?" He goes, "Squeeze your knees and push." So when the bull goes down, you push and squeeze your knees, okay? And then I go, "When you go back, you go, hold on, squeeze your knees and push, squeeze your knees," because it looks pretty simple. I got on that bull. I stayed on the whole thing. I said, maybe I can ride a bull, because you got to move with the bull.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You got to move with the bull. These guys are all like, maybe they were drunk. I don't know, but it gave me some courage. And I said, and I always thought, I want you to ride a bull. I'm gonna have to put a helmet on and pads on and
for the
everything.
after, just in case.
For the after, yeah.
I think they get some, no? In Big Island, Paniolos, they get some bulls for ride, no?
Yeah. Me and BJ Penn are doing this new show. We're doing. We just shot the pilot, and one of the things is riding a bull. So I go, B, we're gonna go. So the show is about us learning the different regiments of champions. So we're gonna travel the world and work out with different champions, physically, spiritually, mentally, and what they eat, right? So we did Nate Diaz. We shot with Nate Diaz. We shot with Big Boy, and we shot with Action Bronson for the pilot. So we were discussing all the different champions we want to shoot with. So we want to shoot with a ballerina champion. We want to shoot with a sumo wrestler champion. We want to do all different types of champions, not just fighters, right? Different. So bull riding came up. So I said, B, you're gonna go ride with a bull? And he's on his phone. And I go, hey, what? You want to do bull rider? Should we do a bull rider? And he pulls up a video, and he rode a bull.
No, well, I mean,
he rode a bull. He rode a bull on the Big Island. He had a helmet on, and he had some pads on, but he rode the bull. And I was like, holy shit, now I got to ride a bull.
You're not going to let bro step up to you like that.
Yeah, but he didn't tell anybody.
That's a great show, man.
Yeah.
You just said it like...
Oh, there.
Yeah, you just said it
brilliant
like nothing, but that's a great show, man.
Yeah, hopefully it catches on. We're in negotiation right now with a few big companies, so hopefully it catches on. Then
how you have time to do so many things? I mean, you're such an inspiration. You do so many things.
Just like you do a lot of things. Same thing.
Yes, but I'm stationary. I'm in Hawaii. You know?
I'm stationary too. I just, like I said, I just do fun things.
But
When
now
it's
I
fun.
saw you doing so much stand up right now. Like,
Yeah.
You went all in. You and Augie T at No Vacancies. Shout out to No Vacancies in
Yeah.
Pearl Ridge. Get your tickets.
Thank you.
You know, suddenly you came out of nowhere and you said, "Fuck! Now I'm gonna do like 8 shows and like."
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny because it didn't come out of nowhere. Comedy's a funny thing, man. You gotta.
Comedy is a funny
You've been
thing.
hosting the comedy show.
Yeah.
You gotta grind. Like, you gotta keep doing it. It's like running. Like if you're gonna run a marathon, you cannot just go run the marathon. You're gonna have to run 2 miles a day. Then the next week you run 3 miles a day, and then you keep running. So I've been doing a lot of comedy lately. I just haven't told anybody. I haven't posted it. I started doing comedy 20 years ago, and then took a break. Me and Augie had a club called the Comedy Shack, and for 10 years we sold it out every Friday, Saturday, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. 1,000 people a night, and we took a break. Augie wanted to be a full-time comic. He left radio and he started doing comedy on his own. I started doing little here and there. Like I started opening for Brother Nolan and Henry Copono on the West Coast. I would do tours with them, just open for them, 15, 20 minutes. So I kept my leg in it, but I never promoted it. And then one of the reasons I never promoted it was because of social media. Social media just started coming into play. There was MySpace and then Facebook and then Instagram, and everyone started posting their stuff. Once you post your stuff, we call it burning it. So you got to write new material.
Yeah.
It's hard to write new material. I commend these guys who do an hour and then burn it and then do another hour and burn it. I got like an hour of material, but it's been 20 years. You know what I mean? You don't get new material unless you go and work out. So I started working out again. We call it working out, doing all the open mics, the smaller clubs, and started writing more material. And then Augie opened up No Vacancies, and we've always talked about doing a reunion. It's been a while, and then we were talking about, should we do the theater? Should we do the Blaisdell Concert Hall? And then I was like, you know what? Let's just keep it small. Let's just make it like a speakeasy pop-up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's keep it intimate, because that's what comics really like. You do the big theaters and the arenas. Of course, that's the dream. But after a while, when you really want the workout, you want the small club. And let's just sell a bunch out. So we decided to do a bunch of shows, and now we keep adding on. And the goal is to do a tour. So we've been getting calls from. I got a call from Chicago today, Minnesota, Arizona, Vegas. Of course, they want us to come and do shows, because we did it for a long time. We did it for 15, I don't know, maybe a little bit longer, 15 years, and radio was the key to that, because we got to promote all our shows, and that's how we got to sell it out. Now it's a different game. You got to use social media to promote your shows, and I give these young guys credit for doing. It's a whole new era now. They're doing these skits and stuff and getting their following.
But it's still the same concept, right? Like, you make people laugh. You just find different mediums. It's what I'm learning from doing radio in the mornings, which is, I think you're fantastic at, and a lot of people like Augie who have made the move from radio to live comedy. Radio teaches you on the fly.
Yep.
And consistently, like
improv.
I think people forget that radio people do an entertaining show from 6 to 10 or 5 to 10.
No script.
Every day. That's 20 plus
no
hours.
Script.
Yeah.
You notice, right?
Yeah.
When you're on stage emceeing, you're much more comfortable.
Yes.
Because you do that every day.
My brain's already
That's
wired
the grind.
to fire.
That's the grind.
So when I started doing these, hosting these comedy events, I'm on 100 firing. And so by the end of it, they're all very impressed. And I'm like, I do this every day. What you do is impressive, constructing a story and putting together, because comedy is the most raw, uncut, intimate performance art, in my opinion.
It's the worst thing next to death, they say. Public speaking, the worst thing next to death. And then you got to go up there, and if you don't laugh, you know how that's hurtful.
Yeah.
It's painful. I've gone through my days like, should I be doing this?
Oof.
You know what I mean? You go home and you go, I'm not gonna do this next week. Screw this. Nobody laugh. You know.
Yeah.
But then you get older, you don't care.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's so beautiful how you can even like take a set and take people places, not just burst laughing, cracking one-liners, but you can take them into a learning lesson.
Yeah.
And you can also take them into an enlightenment moment.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much different things you learn from a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
It's just
they're very different.
Yeah.
You guys one day should have 3 stand-up comics on the show, and watch the thinking and the mentality of it. We always talk about like when we're like Champ is one of my really good friends. Champ opens for me and Augie a lot. And Jose, of course, a good friend, and
Jose
Augie
Dynamite.
and,
shout out to Jose Dynamite,
what's up,
one
Jose?
of the.
Jose's doing awesome because he's really revived.
And he,
local
he
comedy.
stuck to it for the longest time, when nobody. He such a.
It's a hard thing to do, man. And he's been doing it. He's killing it. It's just a cool art.
Yes.
And it's people don't realize sometimes it is art. It is an art. And the people who do it are off. I mean, the mentality, the way we think is much different.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm as off as others people and as dark as some of these guys are. I think if I was, I'd be a really good comic. I make money off of it, so I think I'm decent. I got a long way to go. I wish I could do it for a living like these guys do, but I got too much stuff to do. So for me, it's more of therapy. But I love watching it. I like what all these young guys are doing. You know, Tomua's killing it. You got
and also great crowd work he does. Every time I'm surprised of the crowd work because that's another level of comedy.
Yeah.
It's really
and
interesting.
he's smart because he's posting his crowd work.
Yeah.
Because you're not burning the material.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what you got to do. But you go online, you'll see one video of me online.
Ooh.
That's it. I don't post anything else.
Maybe we should.
I kind of like it that.
Yeah.
But I like it like that though. It makes people go. A lot of people go. I didn't know you did stand up.
Yeah. What do you think? You know, we had Augie T on our show, and
was he on? When was he on?
Yeah, long time
ago.
Was
he on?
But you know, we're big fans.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he took it from, you know, being a boxer in the beginning, to a comedian, to a politician, against the increase in pay. He did not take the increase. He did not take...
Smart marketing move, Augie.
Hey! And he's performing. And he actually performed a few months ago, if I'm not mistaken, in Vegas. And then came back. And then he performs Maui and comes back. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you ever think about going into politics like Augie?
You know, first of all, I give Augie the utmost credit. First of all, because everything you said, people don't know the grind, and people don't know the shit that he has to take for grinding. People don't know the lashback and the social media and the other politicians giving him shit and union workers giving him shit for taking a stand in what he believes and all that. So you got to commend him for that, and you got to commend him for trying to change his community. I knew for years he wanted to be a politician. He always said he wanted to change some things, and you know, it was always leading up to that. I thought about it for 2 seconds because I got offered a lot of money to do it, and then after a while, I thought, "What am I gonna? I'm gonna owe these guys who give me this money," and that's dirty politician. That's dirty politics now, right? So I couldn't be involved in dirty politics. So to answer your question, I thought about it for 3 seconds. I will never do it. I always tell people you don't have to be a politician to change your community. You can do anything you want in your community, and I do it silently. I do it for me and for my community. I don't have to do it for public. And I'm not taking away anything that any politician does, because there is a lot of good politicians.
100%.
But I also understand how politics works. You know, people always say, you have a platform, you should be saying this, or you should be saying that. I say, I don't have to say nothing. I can go change my community on my own. I don't need the president to change my community. I don't need the governor to change my community. I've done it, and I know I can. I did this thing called Aloha for Japan with Fitted, Information, Barefoot League, Booty Groove, and Aloha Army. It was 10 of us. When the tsunami hit Japan,
Yeah.
there were a lot of kids who lost their parents. We made a T-shirt. It was simple. We raised, I think it was $14 million for these people. At that point in time, I knew we could do something to change things in the community. The pandemic hits. Seniors couldn't go to get their food.
Yeah.
Seniors who didn't have families, they couldn't leave their homes. So one of my best friends, Mike Gangloff, shout out to Mike Gangloff. He owns Mirror Image Construction. He owns a company. He created a nonprofit called Show Aloha. He calls me and a couple of other friends, say, hey, we got to go feed, the kupuna. What are they going to do? I'm like, well, how are we going to feed these people? He's like, we make 1,000 meals. I go, where are we going to make 1,000 meals, So we created a program where we raised money to give to local restaurants to make the food for the seniors. The guy raises, all of us in a team effort raised $2.5 million to give to restaurants to stay open.
Wow.
We did all of this stuff without government help. I'm not bragging about it. I'm just saying there's so many things you can do without government help that we need to start doing things on our own. Everyone's
I really
complaining
loved you and was inspired and was a big fan. But right now, after what you said, I'm even more so.
Oh, thanks,
I mean,
brother.
wow.
Yeah. There's so many little things that we can do that you do not need government help. I just gave you the tip of the iceberg of stuff we've been doing. And again, it's not about trying to post it or brag about it. Hopefully it inspires somebody to go do something for their community, homeless issue. We do a lot of stuff with the homeless, just go and do it, man. We don't need the president. We don't need the governor, you know. Of course, there's big things that we need, like money for like Lahaina or stuff like that, of course. But you can go adopt a family right now. Yeah. You can stop complaining about it. Go just adopt one family right now. I have friends that need some adopting. Let me know. I'll hook you up with a family. So that's all I've been trying to do, in the community. So yeah, I don't want to be a politician. I commend the politicians that are good, though.
Well, I think no matter how you do an impact, as long as you have an impact, and obviously you do, this is what counts. Yeah. Helping
but people
others.
get mad at me,
I bet.
I get people that, why don't you say something, or why don't you do this? I go, what are you doing? Sitting on your couch. What are you doing? You know what I mean? I commend BJ. BJ's my boy. I commend him for fighting every way. He fights in every different way. If you get to hang out with this guy, he's always thinking of ways to fight.
Yeah, we had him on the show. We were very impressed with his. One thing that BJ said, and I felt is so true. He said, I don't need to be the smartest guy. I don't need to be an accountant. I don't need to be all those things. Yeah. Even as a fighter, I had a jiu-jitsu coach. I had a boxing coach.
You have a good team.
You have a good team. I just need to have the heart to understand what's right from wrong and make the right decisions. Yeah. I don't need to make the calculations. I don't need to know the percentages. Yeah. And then it dawned on me. He's so right. You don't need to be fucking old scholar freaking... No, you just need to have the heart. If you have the aloha, you have the heart, then you can take it to the next level.
Yeah, you can.
It's so true.
And politics is hard. I worked a little bit in the lobby side of it for trying to pass some bills, and that's where I really learned that I didn't want to do it. But I always tell people politics is like a traffic jam. All right, so you're in front of me, you're on the right of me, and I'm in this car. I need to beep you to get out of the way so I can make this happen. Okay, I got you out of the way. Now I got to get you out of the way. How do I beep you and help you out to get out of the way? There's too many old cars stuck in the traffic jam that are in their own ways. They can't get out of the way anymore to help themselves. They couldn't get out of the way to even help themselves. So unless there's a huge movement and some laws are changed, we're going to be in this situation even worse. This situation's a tough one. But unless we do that, we're stuck, man. Yeah. We're really stuck.
But somehow I feel like lately, in the past few years, maybe since the pandemic, I don't know, having people like yourself, like Augie, and others that we had on the show, Brenton, Andrea Topola.
He's awesome.
Joe Kent from Grassroots Hawaii Institute. People that care.
Yeah.
People that
you got to have people that care.
And the more
there's not enough.
but the more others see, oh, those guys actually care.
Yeah.
Suddenly, it doesn't become like a bad thing.
Yeah.
You're not trying to show.
Right.
It's true. It's honest. It's transparent. It's. I really
You can
care.
you can feel it.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
And then it's easier for you to do your part
Yeah.
in the change.
Yeah.
And we all of us, when we talked about it before the show, we all love Hawaii.
Yeah.
And we truly love Hawaii. Lanai mentioned before that he could live anywhere. He get a lot of offers, but he chooses to come back to Hawaii because he loves Hawaii. And
Yeah, I could live like a king somewhere else.
Yeah, for
we all
real,
we
yeah.
all could, right? But I love Hawaii. One of the things I always try to tell people lately, especially, is the traffic jam thing, right? If you have two bad people, why are you gonna pick the not as bad person, right? We shouldn't be looking for the not as bad person. We should be looking for the new people.
100%.
Right? That's why we're divided, right? We have two not so good people in office or running for president, right? And then I'm going to pick this one because he's not as bad.
Lesser off, yeah.
He's right? I got two gangsters because really they are gangsters. I got two gangsters in office. I'm going to pick the lesser of the gangster because he didn't kill as many people as the other one did.
Yeah.
What is the thinking behind that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a lot of us do that. A lot of local people I notice do that too. They jump ship. Oh, this one's better. He's not as bad. Or they pick and choose their policies, right? Well, this guy has better policies than this one, but the guy's still a bad guy. You know what I mean? Oh, that gangster shoot you in the head. The other one cut you with a knife.
Yeah.
Which one you want? Shoot me in the head. That's less painful.
Yeah.
Right? They both steal and rob from us, but we want the lesser of the evil.
Yeah.
We got to stop thinking like that,
Well, it's all about action, right? And a lot of people like to make action anymore. A lot of them just sit and commentate because it's comfortable.
Yeah.
And social media giving people a comfortable space to
hide.
feel like they're a part of it without getting into it.
100%.
So let me give me my 2 cents, and then they feel like
100%.
they're part of the conversation when really you're not doing anything but throwing words in the air.
Yeah, you're making it worse.
Yeah.
you're making it worse. You're throwing oil on the fire. If you follow my Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you're only going to see funny stuff or promoting of something. And people get mad at me like, oh, can you promote this or whatever? No, it's politics or whatever. I don't.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing. And you can do whatever you like. It's just my choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But don't get mad at me.
Yeah, right.
People get mad, boy.
Yeah.
You got to pick a side. I don't got to pick any side.
A lot of people told me, "Oh, you Jewish, you're from Israel. You should talk about the Israel issue. You should talk about the Middle Eastern." And I said, "Look, I'm not there. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it because I know there will be people that I won't be able to convince. I won't be able to."
You won't win.
Yeah, I won't win.
Yeah. Wins,
I won't satisfy all of them, and I don't want to be in that predicament where I have to justify myself or my people. And you know what? Nobody's perfect.
Nope.
And at this date and time, everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are not sincere anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of them have hidden agendas. And I cannot speak for the Israelis.
Yeah.
I live in Hawaii since 2007.
Yeah.
I can speak for my people over here. I can speak for the school over here, the elementary school over here. I cannot speak for Israel.
And
I haven't been there for it.
That's really good. That's a really good thing to say because it's just like these people who are talking about politicians and politics. Half of them don't even know what's going on, and you're just saying what you want to say. You should go do some homework first. But that goes for me. I don't understand 90% of what's going on. So why should I say something?
Yeah.
I don't know what's true anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know who did what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I appreciate.
We're not supposed to talk about politics, right? It always goes that way.
Well, we got to deviate. We got to deviate from politics.
Go the other way.
What is true is, shout out to Robo. Robo runs the gulch. You guys know. Okay?
Hey, who is that guy? I see that guy just took off. Huh? I don't
Random-
understand what's going on.
So he's a brother from Hamakua.
Okay.
He went on a couple Instagram live rants.
Uh-huh.
Somebody recorded them. And then it just took off.
Well,
bro.
who is he mad at?
I have nobody knows.
Nobody
bro.
knows.
That's
Nobody
so
knows
funny.
who he's mad
I'm
at.
seeing that everywhere. That is hilarious.
But it has become like oh my god, if you even just break down that clip of 10 seconds, not only is there's so much gems in there, but it gives you like a real solid look into a local person's like mind and attitude on things. You know what I mean?
You know what? It's really sad, and I'll say this because a lot of my brothers, my cousins, my relatives, they're not so smart. They're just saying things to say things. You know what I mean? And then you kind of look bad later, like. Where's the mentality? Where's the education?
but at least you know they get good heart. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
you know
awesome.
Good heart. Like, So, bro, I got into like some Instagram drama over it. We did a rap, a freestyle.
Okay.
We threw them on top.
Epic rap. Check out Angry Locals. That's where it's at.
Where it's on your page?
It's on my Instagram, and we had them on YouTube. And then a lot of people were just like, and I guess because he got so popular, because that rap took off, and because I said it was gonna be on Apple and Spotify, and I said that because a lot of our fans always want to play our music. But we don't have copyrights to a lot of the freestyles we do for the radio. Yeah. So we're like, oh, okay, we got an original beat. It's gonna be on Apple, on Spotify. Stoked. Here it is. It's blowing up, and a lot of people are like, all of a sudden mad, like, oh, he's not getting credit, which I tagged him on the post, but they never read them.
So are you using his hook? Using his
we just
words
played
as
that
a
clip.
Hook? Oh, just the clip.
We did use Mox ended up singing a hook that said, I run this gouge.
Oh, okay.
And just having fun, celebrating a brother.
Three Local Boy style.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And but a lot of people started screaming royalties. You need to pay them, man, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, wait, you guys don't even understand the game, bro. But like, I get it, right?
Yeah.
So one brother goes on there, and he put something that caught my eye. He's like, man, I want to get my brother something, some clothing or something. But he don't even on phone. And I'm like, he doesn't have a phone. We just saw him.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So obviously something clicked in my brain. Okay, he doesn't have a phone. Let's go find out. Let me go talk to the brotherhoods and go find out. Long story short, he doesn't have a phone.
So this guy doesn't even know he's blowing up?
So he knows, like,
I'm sure his friends are telling him.
Yeah.
Right?
But I talked to like his best friend that hunts with him because I explained to him like, okay, the guy started on GoFundMe trying to get him anybody like send money for him because he's so popular, but nothing happening for him right now. Donate here. So I talked to him about it, and then I asked him, what is he stoked? He's like, bro, to be honest, he don't even care, bro. Probably
really?
Like he probably don't even care. he got super big.
Oh my God!
But he, as a friend, he like do something for his boy.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, that's one solid, brother. You know what? I help you out there.
Yeah.
So I helped run the GoFundMe for a day on the air.
Did he make money?
So we were able to raise on my end like $200. So I think total he get like $360.
Oh, good.
You know what I mean? Just out of love for
from a bone.
For the brothers. You know. But a lot of people were. That's the issue, right? Like, people don't understand what they're getting into, and they're just like, royalties and this and that. And I'm like, I told the guy, I was like, honestly, I can give you royalties, or we can give you the royalties for the whole thing, bro. And you're going to end up with $2.22.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because streams don't make you money. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, social media, 1 + 5 is not 6. Everybody's got something to say, boy. I tell you, nobody understands shit. That's why I don't get into arguments with people. Yeah. I just say, hey, thanks for your opinion. Aloha to you, or try to be as positive as possible, because they'll keep going.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like that. I saw no end to a lot of the comments. So I was like, you know what? I talked to the brother.
Yeah.
The brother get the good heart. Let me help this brother. And then again, the funny thing was a lot of social media people, and I'm not gonna say who they were, but all wanted to hit me up to try and tell me about this account, this GoFundMe, right? Telling me all kinds of stuff like, I think you're part of the mental illness, and these are like popular people, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna
acknowledge it.
I'm just like, you're somebody. I get it, but you're not going to tell me what to do, first of all. And secondly, I'm already 10 steps ahead of you.
Yeah. No, you don't need to waste your time.
Yeah, you know what? It's crazy because when I saw you and the boys coming out with the song, I'm like, oh my God.
I got to listen to it.
No, forget about that. I said, oh my God, they're picking the brother up.
Yeah.
They're promoting the brother.
Of course.
The brother is nothing.
I'm hope he gets the phone back.
He just had one sentence.
Yeah.
One sentence. You took that sentence, you made it into a beat, you made it into a song. You and other 3 guys invested your time.
Brah, the best comment ever, brah. Oh, brah, you're using him.
To make money.
to make you famous.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
Dude,
Yeah.
like people are
you,
like
bro.
dumb or what?
Thank you.
Yeah, you cannot
Yeah.
win. Don't
Just
fight
give
it.
up, bro.
Just-
Yeah, just-
don't even look. Don't even read it. I'm trying so hard not to read stuff.
Bruh, this is
Trying so hard
disrespectful,
not to
though.
read stuff.
I mean,
It comes with the game, though, right? Like
It
you were
does.
saying, some people don't laugh at your jokes. Some
Yeah.
people don't agree with what you do.
A lot of people don't like me. Well, who cares? You know, they're not paying the bills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know? You just got to keep moving.
Keep it moving.
Because
That's
that's
my
something.
motto.
That's one thing we know. We know our game,
Yeah.
and we know it well. You know, like you know your game, you do your game well,
Yeah.
and we just move that way.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, you know, that's for one thing. For the brother, the best friend, I know one thing: he's not spoken well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because most brothers from Big Island is not. Did we run this couch?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm good at. So, like, you know, when we're on air, I'm explaining it as
Yeah.
what's going on, putting emotions in it, coloring it, letting you know, okay, this is what's going on. That's his best friend.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just take your talents and do what you do. Ironically, nobody's giving me credit for that whole thing. You know what I mean?
We're giving you credit right now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Nobody
Yeah.
gives you
Yeah.
positive for the
No.
positive things you do. They just want to rag
They
you.
always.
I
Don't
think
read it.
It's a psych. What do they call it? Negativity bias.
You know, I can't wait till I don't have to use social media anymore. When I'm not on social media, you know that I became a millionaire. Seriously, because I only use it to promote stuff and to hopefully share some joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really need it. It's such a lot of work.
Yeah.
I have a guy who got me verified. He's a agent in the mainland. Anyway, he goes. He'll check up on me every once in a while. He goes, "Hey, you need to do like 3 or 4 posts a day." I go, "Oh man, I don't have any time for 3 or 4. What am I gonna post?" He goes, I see the post that you showing some personal stuff. That's the one that's getting the most hits or likes. I go, "Oh, I don't want to put me taking a shit today. I don't want to do that."
yo, that will get a lot of likes, bruh.
Oh God. I
That's
was
that
thinking of
shit.
doing a thing where I, remember that dog that smoked the cigar? What's his name?
Oh, Danger? Well, no.
He's on David Letterman. He used to be on
Yes.
David Letterman.
Oh, I forgot his
and
name.
then he did the weather here one time. Anyways, insult dog. Something the insult
Yeah,
dog.
comic? No.
Yeah, something. He had a name, but it was called the insult dog, and he would go to all these red carpet events, and he would just pick on. Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about? He would just dog people. He would just cap on everybody. I was thinking of making a pit bull from Hawaii, the insult dog,
Yeah.
and not put my name on it or anything, and just insult people's stupidity.
Woo, bro, let's do it. You gotta do them with the cropped
Too
ears,
late
though.
now, yeah.
Gotta have the cropped ears, bro.
Yeah. God, what was his name? Something the insult
I
dog.
think it was comic.
Comic the insult dog?
I think so.
Can you Google that?
Because I remember he had that one beef with Eminem at one point. or
Yes,
something.
yes, yeah.
And
that's
Eminem
how
made
he
a song
blew-
about him.
He blew up. He was at the MTV Music Awards.
Yes.
Yes.
And-
Triumph.
Triumph.
Triumph, the insult, insult dog. And then
Bruh,
his-
Brett became Jamie in a second.
Let me take a picture.
Look it up, Jamie.
Lanai
He just
There
straight
you
up
go.
gave him the dog. Look at
Google that. I'm Googling everything. I Google everything.
We're gonna have to mic you up, bro.
Yeah.
yeah, guarantee, bro.
Triumph the insult dog. Sorry about that, brother. I didn't mean to just boss you around. I'm a guest here.
I might as well do something.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
So random. Has Larry Ellison ever hit you up?
You know, I'm waiting for him because I hope he buys my Instagram. At Lanai. Yeah, I'm hoping
I
he
never
buys
thought
my
about
Instagram.
that.
You know what's so crazy? We were just talking about this today. Somebody goes, "How did you get at Lanai?" And Doc Rock.
Yes.
Shout out to my boy Doc Rock. You guys got to get him on the show. He's a genius.
Yes.
One of the original hip hop guys too. He came to the studio once. He used to always come in the studio. He goes, "Hey, there's this thing called MySpace. You guys got to sign up." I'm like, "I don't want to sign up for no MySpace or whatever." And then he signed us up, right? And went on for like a year, and then it blew up. And I go, "Hey, where's my MySpace password?" And then he goes, "You got to sign up for this thing called Facebook." And I'm like, hey, what about MySpace? He goes, Facebook's a new one, but just in case, you got to get your name. Because he wanted us to have our names, right? So he signed us up for Facebook. And then he came in like a month later. He goes, you got to sign up for Instagram. Man, there's too many things. And then Twitter. So I got all the @Lanais because of him.
That's epic.
And he worked for Apple, that's why.
Yeah.
This guy's a genius.
He is, bro.
He was on the radio for a long time.
I'll tag you, bro. You got to check out his Instagram. He's really sharp, especially when it comes to media stuff.
Yeah.
Like multimedia.
He teaches classes for YouTube and all this stuff. Travels the world. But he was the original.
Excuse me.
He was one of the original guys to rap on the air live. We did live broadcasts from different clubs. We were the first. He was like one of our crew, but he was a paramedic and a rapper. So so that's why they called him Doc Rock.
Let's go. Let's go. I did not know that.
Yeah, he's a paramedic and a rapper, and he's a genius.
Yeah.
He fixes my iPhone. He fixes my laptop. Fixes all my equipment. Every time I call, he says, "What's broken?" I'm just calling to say hi, dog. He goes, no, something's broken.
Following Steezy's question, my wife took me for my 40th birthday to Lanai.
Oh, nice.
To the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
Beautiful, huh?
5 days. Oh, no, 4 days.
Boy, she
3
spent
nights.
some money on you, dog.
3 nights, 4
You better
days.
take care of her.
I am.
It's $1,000 a night.
Easy.
Not including food.
Easy. Yeah. And you know what? Everybody was talking about him as if he is, God's assistant.
It's hard because if you work for him, you have to say nice things.
Yeah.
So the island's split in half because half of them don't work for him.
Yeah.
Right? He's kicking out all the locals, not directly, but if you lived in a house 3 generations and your electrical's bad, say, hey, I need you to move out for a couple weeks to fix your electrical. Kick the can down the street 3 months, 4 months, you're gonna have to move, right? Then he buy first house up for sale, he'll buy it, redo it, make it $2 million. No local can buy it. It's just happening quickly, and people need to wake up.
I didn't know that.
Hawaiians are watching what's going up on the mountain. Hawaiians are watching what's going on in Lahaina, but you got these little communities that it's happening right now, and it's been happening over the last 25, 30 years. We need to start watching our communities and what's happening with people. It's sad, man. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He might cancel me. You want to buy my @Lanai handle?
I can get you a deal.
Wow.
But
brokering over
hey, to be fair,
Yeah.
best tomato I ever had in my life.
From the farm.
From the
Lanai.
farm.
Yeah.
Best lettuce I had in my life.
Sansei.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sansei lettuce, bro.
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird.
If they started, part of the problem with this is he's bringing in people to work. There's so many locals who need jobs. I mean, not just the bottom jobs, before the guy Murdoch, who owned the hotel before him and owned the island before him, he hired a lot of locals in top positions. Now you go to the hotel and it's like, this guy's from Germany, this guy's from Amsterdam, this guy's from Italy.
Yeah.
There's like, there's no locals running the show.
Yeah.
Where they said they were going to train the locals to do these things, but we got to move away because then there's no job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one. It's a real tough one.
Yeah, I've never been.
You gotta go, man.
I know.
You gotta go.
You can stay at my mom's house. A lot of people. My mom has Airbnb. I got people every other week come up to me. Yeah, stay at your mom's house. 'Cause they went hunting or whatever. Yeah, my mom's a G, man.
Yeah?
She's badass. Yeah.
Did you say hunting?
Yeah, a lot of
Man, they
venison.
get
So much venison on Lanai.
So many.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a hunting season, no? And then
Yeah, we have
everybody-
seasons. There's bow
Yeah.
hunting right now, but then now he's trying to eradicate all the deer. And that's our
Why?
lifeline. We eat venison more than beef, and he's trying to take away all the deer now. Just another thing they're doing.
Wait, so your mom takes people hunting?
No, my mom has a home, so
yes.
a lot of people stay with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you can't afford the hotel, and
Yeah.
if you go hunting, you can't take the deer to the hotel.
Yeah.
You can't
Oh,
clean it
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need a place to clean the deer. You need a truck. You need a jeep. You need
Yeah.
There's a lot of gulches in Lanai.
I run that go. Check the GoFundMe. Oh, bro.
How long is this podcast, by the way?
Yeah. We can.
2 hours? I like.
No, I mean
okay.
hour half.
Oh, okay.
Hour and a half. We're
Thanks
just
for
having a
having-
good. We're
thanks
just
for
having a
having
good
me,
time
guys.
with you.
Yeah.
We're just having.
I
a
don't
good
want to
time.
overstay.
Nah.
Overstay my welcome.
Nah, we would kick you out already.
Hey, they got good tequila in here.
He means tea. Tea.
I'm sorry,
tea.
good
Tea.
tea here. Yeah. Did you guys know that the Chinese were making vodka out of tea leaf root? So you
Really?
know where Fort Street is?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Russians were coming in to buy wine. You know Vineyard Boulevard?
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm bringing this up, but it just triggered something. Vineyard Boulevard used to be all grapes, and we were growing grapes, right? And we're selling wine to the Russians. Were coming into the bay, to where Fort Street is, right? Where that area
Yeah.
is. And then they started selling vodka from the tea leaf root, right? And we were selling it, and the Russians tried to take over Hawaii, and then the king said, "This ain't happening," and he built Fort Street. That's why there's the cannon over there, and that was Fort Street was the first street in Honolulu, but that Fort Street was to keep the Russians out.
Bruh, I did not know that
I
one
did not
bit.
know that.
Yeah.
I only know in Kauai, I think there's like one thing that they have for Russians. That was like a little plate that like represented the Russians.
Oh
that
yeah,
visit
yeah.
In
A
Hawaii.
lot of Russians were coming because it's close, right? And this was the space you would stop to refill your boats and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had such deep roots in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, Francisco Marin. You know that he brought us a lot of like coffee and other stuff. That's why he brought grapes to California, because all of our sugar cane was going to San Francisco. So if you're going to Napa and Sonoma, on the right they have that big warehouse with CNH. It stands for California and Hawaii. CNH sugar. And he brought grapes, and that's why Marin County is named after Francisco Marin, who came from Hawaii.
I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah, and then Chinatown was built in 1830. Wikipedia says 1900 because of the bubonic plague, but it was burnt down, obviously, and rebuilt in 1900. But a lot of Chinatown was built in 1830. San Francisco's Chinatown was built in 1838. So we were built before San Francisco, and the reason why is because all the Chinese were bringing sugarcane to San Francisco. So there's so many ties. Oh, the reason I brought it was because of 49ers. Why do so many Hawaiians like 49ers in San Francisco? Because of those ties. And a lot of our players obviously played for the
Yeah.
49ers. There's a lot of tie to that, you know?
Are you a 49ers?
I'm wherever the local boys are playing. So like this past couple years, I was a Tua fan. I wasn't a Miami fan. I was a Tua fan.
Yeah.
You know, wherever the local boys are playing, I follow. Like I love Mariota. Wherever they play, I just followed the local boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this Super Bowl, I was just cheering the red team.
The red team. Yeah, I love that.
Well,
Well,
thank you.
brilliant,
Thank you so much for coming out and joining us. It's been a true pleasure. And honestly, we could have gone for another at least 2 more hours.
Well, I'd love to come back. You guys keep doing what you're doing, man.
Shucks, man!
Keep
I would love
doing
to.
what you're doing.
I would love to listen and watch. Like your knowledge and mana'o of Hawaii, especially with timelines and everything, is vast.
Thank
I always learn something every time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and
Thank
that's
you.
tremendous. Like if they, as long as you, I know you're very much into keeping documentation via videos and having shows and whatnot. But if they could get centralized, that way,
Yeah.
you know, we can use these in schools.
Yeah,
Kids can learn.
I'm working on it right now. We're
You know,
it's almost finalized. I'm doing a show with KITV. We're on my travel club. So my travel club is basically, I started it to take you to places to find out where things came from to Hawaii. So like an example is shrimp tempura. You know, people think it's from Japan. So I wanted to teach people the tie between Japan and Hawaii. Shrimp tempura is from the Portuguese on the plantations. You know what I mean? They took shrimp. Portuguese brought batter and oil, and that's the Japanese took the shrimp, put it in the oil and the batter. So if you go to like an old okazuya in Hawaii,
yes,
the shrimp tempura is just like a piece of dough with tail sticking out of it.
yeah.
Japanese put panko on it and made it better,
Yeah.
right? But we have so many stories like that, from ramen to saimin to shave ice and all that. And that's really how the travel club started, with these food tours. So I have a show coming out with KITV that's going to feature these ties to all these places that we travel to. So we got to get you guys to come on one of these. We're doing what is John, you know, the High Life guys, they're doing that podcast, their podcast.
Oh
I just
yeah,
forgot.
yeah, yeah.
They have all the musicians on it.
I think it is the high.
Hi Now. Or no, is it? No, that's
that's
yeah, that's the news channel.
Yeah.
I'm
High
so
Sessions?
sorry. High Sessions.
High Sessions.
So we're gonna do a travel club with them, and they're gonna do their podcast in Japan and take an artist from Japan. So I'd love to do with you guys. Like I said,
Yes.
we all need to work together instead of against each other.
Yes.
You
Never
know,
against.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people that think everyone's against each other in competition. There's no competition.
Yeah.
We
We all are starving.
Yeah. We all. You look
starving
what
out here.
Rogan did with all his podcasts.
Yeah.
Bobby Lee, Theo, those are all his boys. They all promote each other. That's how those podcasts got so big.
Yes.
We can do that here. We got so much talent here.
Yeah.
Look how many athletes Hawaii has. Look how many chefs Hawaii has. Look how many models Hawaii has. Look how many singers Hawaii has.
Look how many rappers.
Look how many presidents Hawaii has. You know what I mean? We got all kinds of cool stuff out of this place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, share with our audience all your podcasts.
It's a Hawaii thing with Brooke Lee. You can watch it on YouTube. My brother's podcast is called Culturize, which is doing really well right now. Different cultures in Hawaii he talks about. We have the Art of Beer, which is a beer show, obviously. Wine and talk about wine and different things. Get your house in order. We talk about getting your life in order, kind of stuff. And then it's on WikioCast. So hopefully we can keep it going. You know how hard it is to keep it going.
And if someone wants to come see you and laugh with you, where they should check you out?
Just follow my Instagram, because I don't know when this is going to air, but Augie and I have a bunch of shows coming up, our reunion shows, and then we're hopefully putting a tour together.
Ooh.
So you guys got to come check that out. You guys are more than welcome to come to any of the shows.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. But thanks for promoting it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And keep that gallery open.
You know that. And
Yeah.
and talking about the gallery, I have a little gift for you from the gallery.
Oh no.
This is a little T-shirt made by 7 Sketches, also known as Derek Fabian.
Oh yes, I know Derek.
So
He's so talented.
yeah. So Derek did this. This is
Thank you,
Spam
Derek.
Bob.
Look at that.
Spam Bob.
Is that my
Let's
camera?
go.
Right on.
Yee.
Thank you very much.
A little
Talented,
gift
this
for you.
kid.
Yeah, this guy is
Yeah,
insane.
I like his. I got a bunch
Amazing.
of his stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His stickers are epic.
Thanks, you guys.
And then we have, our Aloha Hour Hama Award. And this is the Hama
I
Award
like
for
that.
you.
That's cool.
Official hammer.
Because
Right
you
on.
won Hama.
Thank you guys. That's awesome. I'm gonna frame this.
Let's go.
Yeah, you
better
guys gotta
believe
sign
that.
it. You guys gotta sign it for me. I'm
We
gonna
can.
frame this.
Well, thank you so much for coming. It was
Thank you, guys.
It was a true pleasure, and we inspire to be like yourself. That is
Hell yeah.
doing so good for so many people and for themselves, and just inspiring, man. You can't buy inspiration.
Yeah.
You can't buy that.
I like that.
It's either you're born with it and you inspire others, you're a leader, or you're not.
Yeah.
You are a leader. You're inspiring everybody around you. And thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for
you.
blessing us with your presence.
Thank
It
you
was,
guys for having me. You guys keep inspiring. Keep it going.
We're doing the best we can.
Yes.
And I want to give a shout out to our sponsors for this episode, Waiakea Water.
Yeah, you.
I need some of this water.
Hey, we got you, bro.
Yeah, it's good water.
Yes, Waiakea water.
Thank you for doing that and keeping us hydrated.
Yeah, you. Also the Gallery Waikiki.
Yeah.
Also
go
the gallery,
visit the gallery.
Waikiki.
Such
Yes.
a good spot.
Yeah, come visit us. Tonight we have our DJ competition.
Is that tonight or tonight?
Tonight when it airs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It's gonna be gone already by the time it airs.
Watch it on social media.
That good old Hawaiian Aroma Cafe
Is that
coffee
what-
got you going, huh?
But you know what? Join us on March 2nd for the launch of Uncle Ed's
Yes.
Oh,
good
yeah. Was
Uncle
it
Ed's,
tequila
bro.
or vodka?
vodka.
Orange here. Uncle Ed's damn good.
Damn good.
Orange Blossom is the one, bruh. No carbs, no sugar. Oh, this is. Let me tell you, bruh. This thing.
That's the one.
I don't even drink, bruh.
I want to taste. You didn't bring a bottle?
You should come see
No.
us, and maybe you'll get to see the Common Kings perform. Who knows?
Ooh.
Who knows?
Who knows?
All right, and we're out. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, Steezy. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Lanai.
Thank you guys for having me. Aloha.
Aloha.
Thanks, Brett.